Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, April 19th, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. It was a pretty spectacular weekend. The weather cooperated. The Bay Bridge Boat Show was a resounding success. I had a blast at the Hotel Charlie pop-up at the Annapolis Town Center, and I just enjoyed the sunshine yesterday. But here we are, Monday, and we have a lot, so let's dive right in. The Anne Arundel County Police are investigating two shootings in Glen Burnie that happened within blocks of each other, within 2 hours of each other. The first happened just after midnight on Saturday in the 200 block of Polk Drive. They found a man suffering from a gunshot wound to his chest, and 2 nearby homes had been shot. The victim was sent to shock trauma with non-life-threatening injuries, and police have no suspects here. And while they were investigating that shooting, they heard shots nearby. They made their way to the 6400 block of Freedom Drive and found a residence with a rear sliding door had been shot out. Video footage gave them a description of a suspect, and while they were still there investigating, another call came in for a destruction of auto nearby, and the suspect matched the description from that shooting. They arrived, they arrested a 16-year-old Glen Burnie teen who did have a loaded semi-automatic handgun. Police have not said if the arrested teen is a suspect in the very first incident, and for now they're treating them as separate. But they are asking anybody with any information to call them at 410-222-6135. This is a really cool idea. The restaurants around Market Space in Annapolis, Middleton's, McGarvey's, Iron Rooster, Fed House, Harvest, Wood Grill, and the Market House are proposing keeping Market Space closed to traffic and installing a modular decking system and cloth coverings which would go overhead to allow that area to be used during inclement weather. This comes on the heels of the success of the outside dining during COVID and the concern about the hit that the businesses are going to take when City Dock is reconstructed. So this is a semi-permanent solution, and to be honest, I really dig it. You want to go to eyeonannapolis.net and check out the plans that were submitted. I think you'll like it too. If you're interested in a career in the union, there is a virtual career fair sponsored by the City of Annapolis and the Anne Arundel Workforce Development Corp called Careers in the Union. Original, huh? It is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, and you can register for it at bit.ly/careers in the union, and that is bit.ly/careers in the union. Annapolis Mayor Buckley has named a new Poet Laureate for the city. This is the second one he has named during his term, and this time the honor goes to Annapolis High teacher Maggie Benshaw. Benshaw put her name into the hat, and she was reviewed by the Art and Public Places Commission, and her name was then forwarded to the mayor, who made it official. She will be officially sworn in on April 26th at the City Council meeting, where she will receive a special citation. And hey, Mr. Mayor, if you're listening, I can do poetry too. Listen, there once was a man from Nantucket. See? The city elections this year will be interesting, and it seems we are going to have a lot of new faces and contested races. On Saturday, Tony Strong Pratt announced that she is running for Ward 4 Alderwoman. She lost a primary to incumbent Sheila Finlayson last time around by only 17 votes and subsequently mounted a very strong but unsuccessful write-in campaign. I'm looking forward to talking to all the candidates and getting their information out to you a little bit later on, so you want to make sure you stay tuned to the election situation going on here in Annapolis. If you are a nonprofit in the county, get ready, because as the Wayans brothers used to say, and in living color, there is
more money, more money, more money
coming your way. The Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development has given the county $1.9 million to dole out. Applications will be open on May 10th, so there is some time to get that, and the info will all be available at the Anne Arundel Economic Development Corp's website, aaedc.org. Basically, you need to have been impacted by COVID, you need to do good for the residents of the county, you need to be based in the county, have at least one W-2 employee, and provide some financial information. They are going to prioritize the nonprofits that have not received any of the other grants first, but $1.9 million is a big chunk of change, so go get it. And in continuing the saga of we are opening up again, Dinner Under the Stars on West Street kicks off the 2021 season on Wednesday. Yes, the day after tomorrow. As always, reservations are suggested, not required, and the participating places are going to be Ram's Head Tavern, Stan and Joe's, Luna Blue, Tsunami, 49 West, and slightly detached but still in the mix level. And speaking of stuff happening on West Street, the First Sunday Arts Festival is going to kick off for the 20th year on May 2nd. With COVID for now, it will be scaled back a little bit like it was last year, but once again, this is so encouraging that things are happening again. Please keep the masks on and keep your distance so we can really put COVID in the rearview mirror for us all. And speaking of keeping the distances, actually, I heard that the city and the county may be reducing that 6-foot distance to 3 foot fairly shortly, so you want to keep your ears open for that. Finally, have you been catching any of the bonus pods or the local business spotlights? Chill Axes was last Saturday, and next week we have Fast Sign in the local business spotlight. And in between, look for a beer cast. And late on Friday, I got a call from the mayor's office asking about a podcast. So there may be a special podcast with Mayor Buckley in the mix a little bit later on this week as well. Okay, that's it. But first, a quick thank you to the sponsors for today's Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services up in Millersville, and to the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company. It is Monday, so of course we have Alsina from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. And as always, we have George Young here from DCMD VA Weather with your locally forecast weather. George, Ann, and the rest are coming up in just about 60 seconds.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services, with your Clean Energy Minute. Does your home experience power outages? Or maybe you're concerned about energy resilience in general? If so, that's another great reason to consider clean, quiet solar-powered energy with battery backup. You may have heard residential solar adoption has rapidly increased during the pandemic for multiple reasons, and many homeowners like yourself are adding battery backup and electric vehicle charging to their solar projects. And with Maryland's residential energy storage income tax credit, along with the federal tax credit for batteries when paired with solar, the economics are quite compelling, and that secure feeling is even better. So whether you're looking for clean energy, energy resilience, or overall peace of mind with solar energy, we can help. To schedule a free solar design, call us today at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net. But hurry, sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMD VA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMD VA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMD VA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, April 19th. Yesterday was a great finish to the weekend after a chilly Saturday, and today and tomorrow should be nice as well, with plenty of sun and temps in the mid-60s to maybe low 70s in spots. Then a cold front will move through Wednesday, possibly bringing thunderstorms to the area, but chilly air will come in behind it as sunny highs Thursday will only top out in the mid-50s or so before a rebound into the 60s for Friday through Sunday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMD VA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DCMD VA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook or Twitter and use our website daily at dcmdvaweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster company.
I've always loved being a realtor because to me, it's more than a job. It's something that gives me an incredible sense of helping others. And this year in particular, when so many people we've helped had to move rather than wanted to move, it gave me an even greater sense of purpose. Whatever the reason for someone's move, from a career relocation to simply needing to downsize, it has truly been super rewarding and a privilege to be able to assist our clients through all the steps of their journeys. Though it hasn't always been easy, we've learned new ways of navigating the home buying and selling process. So whether you need to say goodbye to your current home or are looking for a new house to start the next chapter of your life in, the Kristi Neidhardt Team is here to work with you and for you, because truly we are all in this together.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Earnings season is kicked off and the market continues to reach new highs. Unemployment has fallen to 6%, down from a pandemic peak of 14.8%. Total people claiming unemployment benefits has fallen over the last week by 1.3 million, down to 16.9 million claimants. Retail spending in March, lifted by stimulus checks, was up 9.8%. Last week, we discussed stock options, which are the right to buy stock at a set price sometime in the future. Many local employers, including Booz Allen, Comcast, Home Depot, and Amazon, also offer stock grants. These can take two forms, and it is important to know the difference. Both forms work the same. An employee is usually awarded stock grants based on individual and/or company performance. Like options, these typically have a vesting period. Unlike options, you don't purchase the stock when it vests. When the stock grant vests, you'll be taxed on the current value of the shares. It is considered ordinary income. Usually at vesting, you will sell enough stock to cover the withholding due on the income generated by the grants. If you have RSUs or restricted stock units, you don't have any options around when or how the income is recognized. If you have restricted stock, you may be able to make an 83B election. Within 30 days of receiving the grant, you can choose to recognize the income in the current year. The income is the current share price times the number of shares granted. Why would you do this? You don't have the option to sell the stock to cover the taxes due, so you'll have to come up with those tax dollars. On the other hand, when the granted shares vest, the difference in price between when you made the 83B election and when you sell the stock is treated as long-term capital gains, which are taxed at a lower rate than ordinary income. Sounds like a pretty good deal. By recognizing the grants as income when awarded, you pay lower taxes overall. The possible downsides are that the stock may be lower in value when it vests than when you made the 83B election. So you paid ordinary income taxes for a higher amount than necessary. Sure, you'll get a capital loss if you sell it at a loss, but that isn't going to offset the ordinary income tax you paid. Also, if you leave the company before the grant vests, you lose the stock, and you've already paid the taxes on the income. The 83B election can make a lot of sense and reduce taxes if things work out. Consider carefully both your career plans and your company's trajectory before making the election. Your action to take this week is to have your jewelry, art, and antiques appraised. If you have the personal article floater we discussed, you want proof of the value of these items. It's also a good idea to walk through your home with your cell phone and narrate your possessions as you film them. The ashes of your Ethan Allen sofa look very similar to the ashes of an IKEA sofa. Our calendar of free educational events is on our website at CovingtonAlsina.com. And for the month of April, we're donating $5 for everyone new who likes our Facebook page to the All Children's Chorus of Annapolis, up to $500. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance references historical and there's no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. This information is not intended to be a substitute for specific individualized tax advice. We suggest that you discuss your specific tax issues with a qualified tax advisor. The opinions voiced in this show are general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you. Consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Hi there, this is Brian Griffiths inviting you to listen to my podcast, the Duckpin Podcast. Some weeks on the Duckpin Podcast, I talk with those making a difference in the world, whether it be in politics, finance, journalism, business, or sports. I'm getting inside the worlds of those people making things happen. Some weeks I'll give you my take on the world, with the political analysis you've always expected. Either way, each week, you'll learn something on the Duckpin Podcast. Subscribe today on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And you can learn more at our home base, theduckpin.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.